Hey guys, welcome in. Week 3, college fantasy football is here. A lot going on the past week over here with me personally at the CFF site. I'm going to go ahead and start off with and touch on that. We're going to go ahead, review the rankings, and then get into the start bench and pretty much call it a week. We'll get that start bench up on the website later on today. We'll get the injury report on there this week as well later on in the week, Thursday night, Friday, and we're off and running. Week 3 is already here, and for some of you guys, a quarter of the season's almost over. And for many of you, and a lot of emails coming in, when some of my guys are going to start taking off, the Richie James, the Ito Smiths, guys, you have to have a little patience. Sometimes when you've got those group of 5 players, particularly those MAC players, those Sun Belt Conference players, some of the Conference USA guys, sometimes it's not until you get into conference play where those guys really start to take off. And for the first 3 or 4 weeks, it's all about survival. It's about makeshift lineups. It's about playing the matchups correctly and surviving to get to that point. So there's a lot of guys that start off fast. They put those Power 5 players on there that play those weak opponents. And some of the guys that load up on the group of 5 players tend to take off at the second half of the season. So it's all about finding that happy medium. It's all about finding that right mix to give you success all the way through. But hold off on some of those guys. I think you're about to reap the rewards of those guys coming up in the next few weeks. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first touch on what's going on with me here personally with the CFF site. What I will tell you guys, and I want to apologize to you guys, last week was a very rushed week for me. Let me bring you through the first 3 weeks for me personally here at the College Fantasy Football site. With week 1, we had the rankings ready to go early with all of the preseason content. And when those depth charts came out on that Monday, we made some tweaks. We pushed it out to you guys. We got everything to you guys as soon as possible so you could get ready for week 1. When week 2 came, it was a little bit of a rush mode for me, just to kind of give you some insight, because I got some emails with concerns on whether or not I was relocating from the hurricane. I wasn't. I was actually relocating personally. I relocated my family, uprooted my family to a different city last Wednesday through Friday. We made that move, an entire house, closed on a house, bought a new house, moved to an entirely different city. So basically for me, I was in shutdown mode at the second half of last week. So we tried to rush to get those rankings out to you guys a little bit early. Tried to put all the material out there a little bit early. I even recorded a show. It didn't even get uploaded correctly. Some of you guys found a part of it on YouTube that happened to get uploaded. But I was steady Wednesday through Friday. I was out of touch, so there was a lot of things that didn't get updated. So my apologies for that. We're connected now. We're up and running here. New place. And so we're ready for week 3. Now, moving forward, you guys were spoiled a little bit that the ones that got those extended rankings, getting them earlier in the week. We won't be doing that moving forward. We're going to stay traditionally like we have, where most of the rankings, the meat of the rankings, the quarterbacks, the running backs, the receivers, won't come out until late Wednesday, sometimes even early Thursday. It's always beneficial with these rankings to try to hold off until later on in the week when we have more updated injury news. That way we don't have to keep updating the rankings as we go. So we try to hold off as late as we possibly can on the rankings. Usually, I'd say best time is to push everything out by Wednesday late or Thursday early. Get the start bench out to you on Thursday. Get the injury report out to you on Thursday. And really wind down the week from there and get ready to watch some football. So that takes you through the events of the first 3 weeks of the College Fantasy Football site and myself. And we're ready through the first 3 weeks. We're ready to get into week 3 of the player rankings, week 3 of the start bench. So there's quite a few players, and I'm going to touch on some guys that I'm getting a lot of emails on that have coming in. Some of the guys that may be on the tipping point of ad drops, some guys that may be gone already, and then we're going to wind it down with the start bench here at the end of the show. So let's go ahead and get right into the quarterback rankings, guys. And I have